Hello, my dear friends. It's again always a good feeling when I come on the video and try to talk and make you understand what I feel and what I think about, what are my understandings of personality development requirements, what are my views on how a person can become an effective leader in whichever profession you're doing, and my point of view as to how you should be better prepared for the SSB. And this is one of the biggest questions which everybody asks. What do I study? See, for a written exam, you got a syllabus. For any kind of, but however, this is a personality development exam. We are seeing your personalities. So what do you read? And my major issues with that is most of the students, if not all, are reading the wrong thing. They have a different take on what has to be read. They are putting all their efforts in the wrong direction, where the right things that we would expect out of you, you're not coming up with. Okay. See, so today's video would deal specifically with that. What is the content that you are required to possess, and what levels do you achieve in that, so that you can present yourself better. And as you know, see, knowledge is power, and the content that you have is a direct indication of the knowledge. So in my opinion, this is one of the most important videos that you should imbibe in you, and endeavor every day some part of your time you spend on this to develop on your content. So first of all, in this aspect, I want to tell you, where do you need content in the SSB? So directly, there are a few places where you require, and indirectly, you will have to require some places. So let us first understand where are the direct places. The direct place is what? In the interview. Certainly, there are certain direct requirements where the interviewing officer will directly ask you, tell me 2 current affairs which you have been tracking. Yeah. Direct content. You are ready about it. You have an understanding of the issue of the current affairs, and then you are talking to the assessor. The second place where you require a direct content is obviously there are 2 group discussions which are in the GTO, where again the group discussions are all on topics which are relevant for today's youth, or any person in the world issues of India. There's geopolitical issues, defense issues. So that becomes a very, very critical element in the whole overall SSB. And the third area is obviously the lecturate, where directly topics are given to you, and you will have to be able to talk for about 3 minutes on that subject. And there should no case where you are not able to talk on any one of the subjects. Given a choice, all 4, yes sir, I'll be able to talk on all 4. That should be your approach. See, so many people are always worried. And obviously, if you don't have the right contact, the right level, see, you are underconfident. So you are always nodding heads when others are speaking, or you are superficial, you are underconfident. Your self-esteem becomes low. So you're not able to match up with the other guys who are coming and giving their surgery. Say some may be a show off. Say they don't know much, but they show as if they know everything. So you should have the depth of content. Very, very important. So today in this video, I will endeavor to tell you most of the things that you would require. I'm saying, yes, say it's a personality development thing. It is how you react to a situation, and you would be taking as to what is being asked from you or what is being expected. But however, I will try to cover this up as much as possible, what I've seen, I've experienced in the last 18 years that I have been in this assessment system, and also in the last 30 years that I've been part of the Defense Forces as a serving officer or as a veteran. So there are basically about a few things. So let me say the first thing that you should be talking about are issues of the country and the world. So when I mean by issues, there are certain specific things that you should be concerned about. For example, the issues of, say, Northeast, a very critical element in the whole setup in the country. Why? And issues of the JNK, Jammu and Kashmir. Because so many of the defense personnel are involved in these two areas. And obviously, the issues of the Indian Ocean region. Because these are the three areas where the Army, Navy and the Air Force is deployed. So those personnel are spending most of their lives in these three regions. And they are dealing with it directly or indirectly, the issues of this region. So they have got a fair enough understanding of this. And fortunately or unfortunately, see, there are many issues in this region. Jammu and Kashmir has been a very integral part of India and it has faced issues right from our independence. Similarly, the Northeast region, right from issues, say, in the domestic front or the environmental front or the geopolitics front. See, there are issues in regional issues, conflicts, developments, culture. See, there are many things. So I would like to specifically address these because all the defense personnel are, and then see the Indian Ocean region. It becomes a very important geopolitically because this is the only ocean which has been named after a country, and there are so many issues, geoeconomics issues, geopolitics issues, environmental issues, terrorism issues, security, national security issues, and this is a direct. So all these issues should be directly known. Apart from that, I feel that you should also know about issues of your state from where you belong. Are you aware of your state, your district, your village, your town? Again, a very important. Or the place where you have studied. Suppose you are from some part of, say, Jharkhand or, say, Tamil Nadu or Karnataka, Jammu, Kashmir, wherever, Northeast. See, but you have studied in, say, Delhi or a Bombay or a Bangalore or Karnataka. See, Karnataka may a lot of people from outside the state come and study there because it's an education hub. Are you aware of the issues of the place where you have spent 4 years of your engineering life? That is where your opinions are being formed about the country, and you are getting that maturity. And suppose from there you get a work. See, you are from, say, Northeast, but you have studied in, say, Karnataka in one of the colleges in Bangalore, and you got a job in, say, Delhi or Pune. So you should know where you're working. What are the issues concerning that? Are you aware of it? Awareness. Are you having a sense of things? Apart from that, big national issues are important, right from the time of independence or even before that till now. So you should be able to be aware of all those national issues and obviously the big international issues. So this part can be divided into 2-3. In the subsequent points, I will be covering a few other aspects of what in the national and what in the international things that you should be aware of. But it is suffice at this point in time to understand that the issues governing the country should be aware, and even the international big issues like, say, Me Too movement. It's an event, or a Black Lives Matter event. What are the pros and cons? What are the environmental issues the world is facing? Climate change issues which the world is facing. So it could be one international issue that you are concerned about, or something which is happening in various parts of the world or in India. Okay, so this is one area where you have to keep in mind. The second thing that you should be worried about is current affairs. So basically, I have divided current affairs into 4 different types of current affairs that you should be concerned about. Obviously, first is current affairs where India is being looked at geopolitically in the world or geoeconomically in the international arena. What are the news associated with that current affairs? Second, you should be aware of India's national current affairs which are making the headlines. What is the country concerned about? What are you concerned about? That is a very important aspect. The third aspect is, apart from India, where in the international arena things are going on. You should have a clear vision about that. Like for example, if there is a tension between say China and Taiwan, or there's an issue which is going on between Russia and Ukraine, or there is a tension going on between Israel and Palestine or Lebanon. What is that issue which is going on? See, it does not concern India. Yeah, it has got an indirect concern because now everything is connected to geopolitics. But however, what is the issue between those two countries? Or some other international issue, for example, something like for example, something is happening in Britain. Brexit was one last year, like for example. See, in 2021 and all that, the talk was going on. So you should have a fair enough idea on that. I'm just giving you an example like that. And obviously the fourth kind of current affairs is about the defense news. See, India in its endeavor to become Atmanirbhar, there's phenomenal events which are happening in the defense arena. You should be aware of that. So these are the four kinds of current affairs you should be worried about, and I would suggest at least two of them per category could be a good enough thing. So in all, about eight of them at any given time. And when I mean by current affair, it is not just one statement that you make, sir, this is that. No, you are having an understanding of what that issue is about. So whenever you are talking about current affairs, you should know the issue, the background of it. So now the first point and the second point gets connected to each other. So when you're talking about a Northeast issue, then what is the current affairs in that? What's happening now? See, what you have studied 1 month earlier and you have given in an SSB. But now 1 month later, something else has happened out there. So have you added to that in your current affairs? The issue you know of Northeast, but the current affairs keeps changing. So if you are going from the issue point of view, you should know the current affairs. If you are going from the current affairs point of view, you should know the issue. So they are interrelated. See, in isolation, you can't study. So whenever you are talking about these things, so you should know the background of it. That is what I want to say. So the third point which you should be able to know is geopolitics. So we are in the defense forces are in the front line of geopolitics, diplomacy. And you know, in the last 2-3 years, see, geopolitics has taken a critical part of our everyday lives, in fact. See, there are so many vagaries that you have to keep in mind. And we being in the defense, obviously, are in the front line. See, we make the news. And what our actions would decide the future. Because we are in the front line of national security. And national security is you being seen from different prisms nowadays. You should be aware of that. So geopolitics becomes an important element in the whole thing. So what all you should cover is obviously India with its neighbors. Pakistan, China, Nepal, Bhutan, Myanmar, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. These are our immediate neighbors from countries with whom we share borders. Apart from that, Afghanistan is a neighbor. Maldives is a neighbor. Seychelles, Mauritius are neighbors. So please include that also in your whole neighbors concept, because we've got very close ties and it is just only one ocean which is separating us or a sea which is separating us. In fact, officially, as per the maps of India, see, we have got 165 kilometers of shared water with Afghanistan in the Gilgit region. So officially, we are neighbors with Afghanistan. Yeah, that part has been taken over and we call it the present day POK. And we have got close ties with the people of Afghanistan. So that becomes a very important aspect in the whole neighbors. Apart from that, you should also be aware of our geopolitics with important countries. US, France, Britain, Russia, Israel, Japan, Iran, important big countries with whom we have relations. Apart from that, as and when the current affairs happening, our Prime Minister or our Defense Minister or our External Affairs Minister or certain delegation has gone to some other country, like for example, our External Affairs Minister visits Australia he is visited some African country or Egypt or South Central American countries or South American countries. So that becomes a current affairs news. And thereafter the geopolitics involved with it gets connected up. So you have to be aware of the current affairs and what geopolitics is relevant when the time you are going to the SSB. Are you able to connect the dots? So that is how you should start thinking. Yeah. So this becomes a very important aspect to the whole preparation model. Geopolitics. Apart from that, you should also be aware of all the alliances in the world. We are part of so many alliances, right from UN to say Quad, to I2U2, to INSTC, to a RIC, to a BRICS, to a BIMSTEC. See, so many are there, about 20, 25 of them we are part of. Environmental. Some organizations we are not part of, but they make a geopolitically relevant to us. For example, in NATO. We are not part of NATO, but it's geopolitically important for us to understand what they are doing. OPEC, oil. So these are the areas where you should be focusing on. Apart from that, the geopolitics in which other countries are involved, in which India is not involved. See, what is the China-Taiwan issue or the say Russia-Japan issue or the Palestine issue? What is it? What is the Yemenis issue? What is the Central American issues which govern that area, region? So these are the important areas where you should be focusing on when you are talking about geopolitics. Now, all the three gets connected up. Geopolitics gets connected to the issues get connected to the current affairs. Nothing is in isolation. You now start joining the dots. And next important thing comes, three things I would tell in the fourth, fifth and the sixth, which is developmental issues in the country, the social issues in the country, and the Indian economy. This is a very critical element in your preparation model. See, India is a growing nation, a developing nation. In some areas we have developed, but we have got a 1.4 crore population. So you have to understand what is it in the development. See, India is forever in the transition progress towards development. So you should be from state-wise to region-wise to sector-wise, you should be aware what is the development which is going on. The second important, the fifth one is obviously the social issues which create an impact to the people. 1.4 crore people are getting impacted culturally, regionally, religion-wise, language-wise, ethnicity-wise. So there are so many varieties in India. See, right from food habits to language and to every small thing. See, you should be aware what are the social issues which impact India and the world. And third, Indian economy, because everything is finally related to money. See, financial prudence and growth in that is a very critical element. Now that you see these three topics of developmental issues, social issues and Indian economy, see, you see a pattern which is the government is the common factor in all these three. So one way of preparation is, can you link up what the government is doing in all these three things? And how does the government do it? By policies. Policies, Jan Dhan Yojana, or a Beti Padhao, Beti Bachao, or a Atmanirbhar Bharat, or Ayushman Bharat, see, or Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. So there are 100 of them. How? So different sector-wise, like space and technology, tourism, child and women and child development. So there are ministries, sectors, railways, roadways, see, development. But they are creating a social impact. So there is a big, huge project which is coming up, it will have a social impact. A financial project, social impact. Law, privacy laws, see, so many, social impact. So every issue in the country has a social impact. And obviously it deals with money, Indian economy, sector-wise. So sector-wise, try to divide this. And now, once these three are understood, then you connect this with what is the geopolitics of it. What is the issue of the state? What is the current affairs in this? So all the all the six gets connected now. So we started off with issues, then went on to current affairs, then went on to geopolitics. Now we have come to development, social and Indian economy. All the six gets connected up. So the circle is becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. So you can't prepare in isolation because it has got an element in everything. So nothing can be in isolation. So whenever you are preparing, I want you to understand the concept of radial thinking, of joining the dots. It is not linear. Your preparation cannot be linear. You cannot take a book and start writing 10 points. This point gets connected to that point gets connected to this point has an effect on that creates an impact here. So this radially which is connected up is a very important aspect to understand in your preparation. And the best method to do this is mind mapping techniques. So there are phenomenal videos and information available on mind mapping. So I would request you at this point in time to go Google them, go through some videos to understand how you can use mind mapping techniques to help you in your preparation. And all important people, and it is being taught in one of all the best education centers where the understanding a concept becomes that much easier. So use mind mapping techniques, use radial thinking methodologies to prepare for your SSB. Apart from that, see, I would like you to prepare obviously on the defense knowledge. You are going to the defense. It's a prerequisite. The 7th point would be defense knowledge. Army, Navy, Air Force. Platforms, weapon systems and sensors. And here I would like to caution you. A takriban theek answer is not acceptable. You have to be either 100% correct or it is 0. For example, if I ask you, I'll give you one small example. If I ask you 3 tanks which India has, you cannot talk T-92 Bhishma or a T-70 tank or Arjuna tank. The real answer would be T-90 Bhishma, T-72 and Arjun, not Arjuna. So many times people go, they almost know things but don't know the exact thing. So whenever you are preparing, this is one specific area where you cannot be half-baked, knowledge cannot come in. And I feel 90% of the students are going wrong in this. 95% people are going wrong on this. Pay specific attention to the correct information on this. Superficial knowledge cannot be acceptable. It is something like talking, see, who is the best batsman? So Tendulkar. Can you speak? It's a proper noun. He's Sachin Tendulkar. Can you name him by some other method? No. He will feel bad. You're not giving him respect. Similarly here, see, if you're talking about any weapon system or any platform or any sensor, you should know the exact thing out there. And obviously, this depends upon the SSB that you're giving, but it can be asked, a naval guy can be asked an Air Force question can be asked an Army question. It can circle. So don't limit yourself to one thing, that you're going to the Army, so you learn about Army only. No, it doesn't work like that. Because you're giving multiple interviews. Somebody is clearing an AFCAT, giving an CDS, going to the naval interview. And it's about the defense forces, finally at the end of it. Apart from that, one more critical area where people go drastically wrong are the missiles that India has or the world has. Absolutely no clue on the types of missiles, the classification of missiles, the utilization of missiles, the propulsion system of missiles. So this is one area where you have to focus on. Apart from that, obviously the command structure, the rank structure, the various regiments, the job description of the various branches of the Army, Navy, Air Force. See the differences between them. Where are you better suited for? What do they do actually out there in the field? Training pattern in your academies. What will be the training pattern? All details, the aircraft, the ships, and what all you do, and the equipment that you use in the army, all these things are becoming critical. They're one critical area. Apart from that, I would also like you to know what the DRDO is doing. See, there are the future weapons. Very critical. Equivalent of rank structure between Army, Navy, Air Force. Critical. So here I would like you to tell, I'll give you one source out here. See the official websites of Army, Navy and Air Force. Nearly nobody comes up even opening the website of indianarmy.gov.in or indiannavy.gov.in or indianairforce.gov.in. See, you're coming for an SSB, at least the minimum required is see the official website of the Defense Forces and come, DRDO. See, most of the information you'll find it there. So this is one area where, then apart from that, the defense technology, the physics behind it, the technology behind it, the future technology which is coming up. These are very critical areas which you should be concerned about. The content for how is it in relation to the graduation that you have done? How does that correlate with each other is a very important aspect. So that would be the eighth one. Technology, the physics, the concepts. Ship, how does a ship float? How does an aircraft fly? How does a gun fire? How does a tank move? What are the radar principles, sensors? See, what is the physics behind it? Because you will be operating it or concerned about it. So whether you are technical or non-technical, see, you will be part of that daily life. So you should having a concept about it. You can't say, sir, I am not a non-technical person. What efforts have you put in? Is a very critical element. So this is one area where you should work about the eighth one. The ninth one is geopolitics, I told, right? We are in the front line of geopolitics, defense forces. So obviously geography becomes important. So you should know about geography. Wherever the conflicts are happening or wherever the geopolitics, India is major player. What is the geography of the region? Are you aware in the world map where is this? The capitals, the seas, the region, the surrounding neighbors, all those aspects of geography. So geography becomes a very important aspect on this area. It could be important from the hobbies point of view. From the because traveling is a hobby. So obviously traveling, we are traveling to some place. So geography becomes important. So please pay attention to your geographies. That is the ninth aspect which I want you to read about. And the 10th aspect would be understanding your sports, hobbies, interests and extracurricular activities. Have a clear-cut understanding as to what you are doing that. Know about it, know the rules, regulations, dimensions, technology, physics, geography, geopolitics, current affairs, on those aspects, GK, trivia. So you are a sports person who likes football. You are an interest in watching some club in Europe or India. So are you having some statistics of your favorite player? Would be a GK. Or the dimensions or the physics behind sports. What is the physics behind a ball spinning? Bend it like Beckham. What is the physics behind? Okay. So those becomes important. What interest do you showcase in all these sports and hobbies and all that in relation to the others? That becomes very important. And last but not the least, see, one of the important areas is dimensions, conversions, units of things, conversions from a meter to a centimeter to a yard to a feet to an inch, speed calculations, volume calculations, area calculations, mathematics, a little bit of mathematics here and there, commonsensical questions, speed questions. This becomes very important. So are you able to have an understanding of speed, time, distance? See, these three are very important aspects. So pay attention to these. Questions will come out of it. You will be required to present that. It would be experiential in nature. So one is content preparation by physically gaining knowledge. Physical knowledge gaining by reading and understanding. And the second is experiential. So content creation by experience. So this content creation by experience will help you indirectly in, say, a TAT or a VAT or an SRT, or the way you answer your interview questions which are other than the GK and current affairs or the defense knowledge. Experiential content. How you handle the outdoor task or the group planning exercise or the individual obstacles. See, experientially. So if you experience things like that, you will be better prepared and handle yourself betterly. So that is the second part which I am talking about in the content creation, which is experiential. So gain experience in things. Go out, explore, understand, talk to people. All those things you will have to do to create your content so that you are better prepared in the subconscious level when you are approaching the SSB. So this is a vast subject. I will not make the video too long, but however, if you are really interested in knowing more about it, there's much more to it. Try to join the course. I explain, a lot of effort and time is spent in the course to explain this in further detail. How do you correlate with your personality? How do you justify your PIQ on this content? It's all aspects which has to be covered. So my suggestion is that if you're really interested to know more, joining the course would be the best way to do it. To contact us, we got our own Instagram channel, we are on Facebook, we are on YouTube. The phone numbers and the other methods of communication are available. Please use that. Contact us and let me tell you, we will not disappoint you in your understanding. And do like in case you like the video. Do subscribe. Tell your friends. Tell everybody. Let them also benefit from this. And obviously hit the notification button so that you come to know when the next video is coming up. Thank you very much.